Abbi J from AJ Life Hacks, and today I'm talking about the 3 steps that you have to know in order to deal with some of the difficult people we find ourselves with in our lives. Now, I get that with difficult people, that can mean all different things. These can be people that we love to actually hang out with, that we love to be with, that we have awesome relationships with, but for some circumstance or for some reason, they can become a difficult person with this one thing or in this one situation. And so how do you deal with that? How do you keep your relationship intact? Well, I have those 3 steps that you need to know right here in this video, so don't go anywhere. So the first step with dealing with difficult people is to identify the problem. Now, I get that it might be very, very obvious to you what the problem is. They procrastinate every project that you're assigned to with each other. They never show up when they say they're going to show up. They always, don't tell you they're coming and then randomly show up or don't show up or come uninvited. I mean, there can be so many different things that this person does that really pushes your buttons and makes it hard for you to do your job or to even be their friend at that moment. But I also understand that sometimes we can't really put our finger on exactly the problem. And that's why this step is either something that, yes, absolutely, I know what it is, they're always procrastinating, or it's, oh man, I really gotta sit down and think about exactly why this person presses my buttons and why I can love them and they can be my best friend at one second and then the other second they're driving me off the wall. So take the moment if you need it to identify what it is that this person is doing that makes them a little bit difficult to work with. Knowing what the problem is that you're facing with these individuals in your life is so important to step number 2, which is to set yourself up for success. In this step, it's critical for you to know what the problem is so that you can prepare yourself against it. So if you know that your friend is always late to the party, don't assign them the major food assignment for the Christmas party, or everybody's going to have to eat later, or you're just not going to be able to eat that item. If you know that this person that you've been assigned a team project with always procrastinates, well, maybe set a soft deadline a little bit ahead to give yourself some wiggle room for you guys to make sure that 1, they have that project in on time, and that it's 2, to the quality that you like. So this is a step all about preparing yourself for the inevitable. Because yes, you know what, sometimes these people do pull through, and isn't that an awesome surprise when you've made yourself some leeway that you can deal with their difficulty or the thing that they sometimes struggle with coming through on their end with. Now, I hear some of you're saying, well, this lets them off the hook. This lets them, it enables them to continue that behavior. Well, like I've said in some of my other videos, the only person that we can change is ourselves. And yes, that's, something that maybe would help them out in their life if they figured that out and got it taken care of. But that's really not for you to make that your life mission, because it's probably going to be the death of you to try to change somebody. So just work on what you can control, and you can control yourself. And anyway, this sets you up so that you're not disappointed, that you don't look bad in front of a boss or a teacher, and that overall you just have more peace of mind, which is so worth it in the end. And my last tip for you when it comes to dealing with difficult people is to love, but don't tolerate. Now, I have a blog post written all about this discussion of how to handle people that can make our lives a little bit hard. And I come up with a few more descriptions and tips, so I'll link that in the description below. But I had to include this step because it's the most important. And that is that while we love this individual and we care about our relationships, we should never be afraid to stick up for ourselves. And one really good way to do this is to use humor or to appeal to a higher authority. Now, with humor, I love using humor in tense situations because it so quickly and easily diffuses the situation. But if you're finding that isn't working for you, try appealing to a higher power, meaning that this deadline, this requirement that you're requiring of your friend or coworker isn't because you want it, it's because your boss wants it, your teacher, somebody that you both have to report to. So then it's not, well, I'm demanding this of you. That way you don't have to come across really harsh and say, well, you're making me look like an idiot every time you do X, Y, and Z. You can just say, hey, I know that it wouldn't be very good for our grades or for our annual reports if we don't get this done on time. Or, you know what, I just can't look like a fool in front of my mom at this party because I need you to bring this dish. So there are just so many ways that you can use that tool, because while we love this individual and we care about our relationships, if it really is hurting your relationship with them with this difficult issue, that it just, no matter how you try the tips I've shared, is not changing for you, then by all means talk to them directly. But remember, that's a tool of last resort, because it's really hard not to damage a friendship when you come in guns a-blazing and are like, you have this problem and I need you to fix it right now. It hurts people's feelings. So there you have it. Those are my top 3 tips for you for dealing with difficult people. Now, I get that there are so many different ways that people can push our buttons, but try out these tips. Let me know how they go in the comments below. Please give this video a nice thumbs up, and of course subscribe to my channel where I have videos coming out for you every week on how you can make your success just skyrocket. So I'll see you in the next video. Abbi J out.